This video is sponsored by SquareSpace. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. Now, in this video, we are going to look at whether you get a decent road bike for about £1,000. That works out at about $1,200 if you're watching in the US and a bit less in euros. Now, I rounded up some really interesting and good looking bikes for this price range. And I've also, as well as new stuff, going to look at the second-hand market to see whether buying a used bike is a better prospect than a brand new bike. So without further ado, let's dive in, let's fire up the laptop. So the first bike is probably the best bike I've found that's brand new because it's the only bike with a carbon frame, whereas most bikes in this price range are aluminium. So the bike in question is a Boardman SLR 8.9 carbon, currently on offer down to just over £1,000 and looks really good. So Boardman, named after Chris Boardman, the 92 Olympic champion with the famous 108 Lotus bike, have made a mark over the last 10 years here in the UK, at least for great value for money. I'm not sure if they're available outside of the UK, probably not, but if you're in the UK, this is an absolute corker of a deal. So it's a modern looking carbon race bike, drop rear stays, which are really trendy right now, partial internal cable routing, and rim brakes, which help keep the weight down. And not only that, but you get a Shimano 105 mechanical 11-speed shifting group set, but with an FSA chain set, which is a shame, not a full 105 group set, but a top tier 11-speed mechanical group set. So that pairing of a carbon frame and a Shimano 105 mechanical shifting group set looks an absolutely stonking deal, really impressive. So job done then, wrap up the video. Well, maybe, but maybe not. There are a few more good bikes to go through, so let's crack on with the next bike, and the rest of these bikes will be aluminium. It's easy to be a bit sniffy around aluminium because it's only used these days on cheaper entry-level bikes, but the advances made with the material over the last 10 years or maybe more mean it's a good material for a bicycle. So here we have a Canyon Endurace AL, their endurance bike. Nice looking bike, rim brakes, so we only have space for 28mm wide tyres, but it's a really smart looking frame, lots of nice details on it, and it's built around a Shimano Tiagra 10-speed group set. So not the 105 on a Boardman, but Tiagra, as I found when I reviewed a bike a few months ago with a Tiagra group set, still offers all the performance you expect from a Shimano group set, and you get a nice wide range cassette to help you on the climbs as well. The Endurace is the company's endurance bike, so you get more relaxed geometry, higher handlebar height, shorter top tube. So ideal if you're not racing, and at that price point, you're probably not buying a bike for racing. You want that bike for fitness, for leisure, and for comfort, and maybe a side order of commuting as well. And that bike definitely ticks all those boxes. So looking at Giant, and well, sadly you can't get a TCR at this price point, but their entry level is propped up by the Contend, their name for an entry level bike built around an aluminium frame at this price point. More relaxed geometry than the TCR, so endurance bike geometry, so a taller head tube and a shorter top tube to put you in a more relaxed fit, which is ideal for this sort of bike. So the really nice looking frame. Giant know how to make bikes, build quality is first class, and that is the case here as well. Giant has used a Shimano Claris 8-speed group set, which isn't as good as 10 or 11 speed, but you do get a massive wide range 1134 cassette, so that would definitely help you on the climbs. There might be bigger gaps between those gears compared to that 11 speed or 12 speed, but it worked just fine. What I really love about this bike and why it definitely stands out is a massive tire clearance. Just a really good pick if comfort is top of your list of priorities. We have to include a Specialized because they are one of the most desirable bike brands in the world. And in the UK, there's less choice than there is in the US. So in the US, you can get a Specialized Alley for $1,000. And the frame looks really nice, and it mimics the Tarmac, the carbon frame in their range, with drop rear stays and that sloping top tube, but made from aluminium. And Specialized is a company that still invests in aluminium, and their smart weld technology higher up the range really shows they're still keen to invest money into aluminium, where many other bike brands have given up on aluminium and are focused on carbon fiber. Specialized don't always offer the best value for money though, so we have a Shimano Claris 8-speed group set. But I do like the fact you get mudguard mounts on this bike, or fender mounts if you're watching in the US. So a great option for commuting as well as long weekend rides. But interestingly, if you shop around here in the UK, you can get an Alley E5 Sport on offer for £975, and that's with a Shimano 9-speed Sora group set and a Praxis chain set. So pretty good buy if you really want to specialise, you really want to specialise on a down tube of your new bike. If you're not a brand snob, then the Decathlon Van Rysel is definitely worth checking out, and their road bikes always get glowing reviews and they offer fantastic value for money. This Van Rysel offers for £950 an aluminium frame, carbon fibre fork, that endurance bike geometry, so it's more relaxed and more laid back fit. But what really sets the bike apart is it's the only bike here I could find brand new, sub £1,000, with a Campag group set. It's a Centaur group set, mechanical shifting, rim brakes, and very unusual to get Campag. Let me know if you would buy a Campag equipped bike at this price or whether you prefer Shimano. Shimano is much more dominant at its price point. You don't really see SRAM at its price point either. So to see Campag is fairly unusual, it has to be said. Cannondale is famed for its aluminium work back in the 80s and 90s and really pioneered aluminium in a way that few bike brands could really match. And they were raced at the Tour de France back in the day, and the company really founded on that success. So the frame really is the star of the show here. It looks fantastic, nice sensible mix of internal and external cable routing. And then we have a Shimano Claris 8-speed group set, a familiar sight at this price point as many bike brands do use this 8-speed group set. It's a shame we have an FSA chain set though, and the low quality 25mm wide Vittoria tyres are a bit of a turn off, but a few upgrades will definitely transform this bike into a bike for long sporties and maybe a bit of road racing as well. Okay, let's have a look at Trek, and Trek don't offer the Madone or a Monda aero or lightweight bikes at a price point. They're only offering sub £1,000 is a Domani, and here we have the AL3 for starters. It's just over budget, but you do get a bike based on a top end carbon Domani, but without the complex ice-speed decoupler. But there is space on this bike for a 35mm wide tyre. So if you want to fit a big tyre for maximum comfort for long rides, all-axing, sporties or commuting, this bike definitely ticks that box. You then get a decent group set as well in Shimano Sora, so a 9-speed group set with mechanical disc brakes from Textro, which aren't amazing, but it's hard to get hydraulic disc brakes at this price point, unfortunately. Now, an interesting alternative if you're not into disc brakes at a price point, and there are still lots of rim brake offerings at around £1,000, is the AL2 because it has rim brakes. Now, an obvious benefit of rim versus disc at its price point is the weight, and looking at the weight, it's about half a kilo if weight matters to you, which it might do at this price point. The downside to rim brakes on a bike is there's only space for a 28mm wide tyre, so not as much opportunity to go to a big fat tyre as you get on the disc brake version of the same platform. Those are the brand new bikes available in this price range, but before we go look at some used bikes on eBay, a word from today's sponsor, SquareSpace. SquareSpace is a platform that makes building your own website really easy. Whether you're selling cool bike stuff online, need a nice gallery for your photos, or want to share your thoughts on the world with a nice blog, SquareSpace makes building your own website really simple, quick and easy. And trust me guys, it couldn't be any easier. I've been building a website for Just Ride Bikes for some time now, and doing it through SquareSpace makes the whole process seamless and fuss-free. There's loads of templates to choose from, so the heavy lifting is done for you. Then you can simply edit stuff as you want, and the interface is super intuitive. There's round-the-clock support as well, super powerful analytical tools, and you plug in your social media networks as well. So if you need a website in 2023 to raise your game and take your business to the next level, then check out Squarespace. You get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase using my code and link down below in the description. Right, let's look at some secondhand bikes and see what we can get for our money. So I typed in a 56cm carbon road bike to narrow down the search a bit, and I'm searching in the UK as well. And there are some really interesting offers straight away. Giant TCX, Cervelo S2. Is that my size though? What does it say? What does it say? 56cm. So here we have a Cervelo S2 aero race bike for £750, so under budget. And that's useful because with a second-hand bike, you might have to buy a new chain, new tyres, maybe some new bar tape, but under budget gives you the opportunity to do that. It does look very small for a 56 though, but carbon frame, aero, rim brakes, got Campag wheels on a 105 spec bike. It looks a bit worn, looks a bit tatty. That bar tape has seen a long life for sure. I'm going to skip over that one and go back to our search and see what else we can find. Here we have a Trek Domani 4.3 carbon Ultegra, under budget by quite a bit. And that's a smart looking bike. Apart from that bar tape, I don't like the bar tape at all. But we have a carbon fiber Domani, their endurance bike, with the high-speed decoupler. You can see that at the seat tube, and a Shimano Ultegra mechanical group set with rim brakes. Now, question marks over the mileage on the bike and how worn and what sort of life it's had. Probably needs a bit of money spent on it. That handlebar, I'm not sure about the handlebar. Some things that have changed, bar tape, handlebar. Probably wants a good service, maybe a new chain, a new cassette if you're unlucky. But that is well under budget and gives you an option to upgrade it and have potentially a better bike than buying a new bike, because you won't get a bike like that brand new, that's for sure. So back to our search, see what else we can find. Right, here we are, a Giant TCR Advanced Pro 2 Carbon ML, that's my size, £850. Wow, that's a really smart looking bike. Not sure about the colour personally, let me know what you think down below. But we have a smart looking bike. I love the TCR, classic road bike, just great for racing, doing sportives, Grand Fondos, you name it. So it's not a current generation TCR, but the one before it, launched probably 2018, something like that, so a few years old. They fitted mudguard mounts by the looks of it. We have a Shimano 105 mechanical shifting group set. That is a really good pick. Giant are renowned for their build quality, so the frame should be fantastic. Even though it's a press fit, shouldn't be any problems there. What else do we have? So this is interesting. We have a CAD 12, but it's ended. Oh, I missed it. Oh, damn it. A 750. Had no bids. Has it sold? Maybe not. I just bought a CAD 12 actually, a lot cheaper than that one. But stay tuned, hit the subscribe button if you want to see that video coming very soon. Now go down the list. Here we have a Super 6 Evo. Now this looks a good bike. So £700 starting bid. That looks really smart. So that is a second gen Evo, I think. So launched in 2014, something like that. Rim brakes. Shimano Ultegra mechanical shifting group set, rim brakes. I love the black stealth look. 105 shifters by the looks of it, but that's fine. That's a smart looking bike. It's a bit of wear on the cranks there by the looks of it, but for £700, spend £100, £200 on some new tyres, new chain perhaps, and that illustrates how good a second-hand bike can be. That's probably a £2,500 bike, maybe more, but for £700, so a bit of a bargain really. What else do we have here? Genesis Zero, that's a nice looking bike. So their attempt at carbon fiber race bike, that presents really well. Ultegra group set, rim brakes. I like the two-tone frame paint finish. Never ridden a Zero though, can't comment on the ride quality. Oh, electronic, oh, DI2. Wow, look at the state of the rear mech, blimey. That's had a crash. So that definitely raises alarm bells. Does that still work? Is it battered? Are you prepared to buy a bike for quite a bit of money with a rear mech that's so battered? You could probably get a new one on eBay or a second-hand one that's been refurbished and upgrade it. That is a previous generation Ultegra as well. Here we have a Specialized Roubaix SL4. That's quite an old frame now. Has the famous Zert inserts, which are a bit dubious in terms of how they worked, but Ultegra group set, mechanical shifting, needs a new saddle, bar tape, handlebar perhaps, needs a colour match stem. But it's a bike of one Paris-Roubaix, no future shock, but 600 quid for a carbon Ultegra spec bike. And here we have another Super 6 Evo, quite a few around. This is 950. I'm not sure about the paint job though. Kermit the Frog green, not sure. But again, nice Mavic wheels. Those Axioms are quite heavy, but they're fine. Put some carbon fiber deeps on here, it'd be just hunky-dory. Ultegra 11 speed. FSA chain set because of the BB30. If you live with the colour, it'll get resprayed. that's a good bike. So quite a few options. If you are prepared to go down the used second-hand market, there is an element of risk involved in buying a second-hand bike. And if you want to know more about buying a second-hand bike and the benefits of buying a used bike, then do watch this video up here. But that's all today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you again very soon.